Nitil Pravishtam Vishnu Parashatarashatash Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnu Parashatarashatash Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnu Parashatarashatash Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnu Parashatarashatash Bhakti Pyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitil Vishtam Vishnu Parashatarashatash Bhakti Siddharasati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Mahabhagavat Srila Gopshara Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitil Srila Satchid Ananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shard Goswami Prabhu Ki Damodar Rai Ramananda Rishi Gopal Shada Vrinda Ki Jai. Nama Chai Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Krishna Bharata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Ki Jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhavi Ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya Ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Shri Veṇu-gīta Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Dandavat Pranams. Well, there isn't anybody here right now, 0 viewers. But that doesn't matter because I'm actually just proofreading, and I thought I might as well just do it live in case anybody wants to follow along. And if not, no problem. I'm just doing my GVP Seva. This book's going to be printed very soon, and so I just wanted to do a quick, light read over and see if I find anything. I've done this kind of live proofreading thing for a couple other books, and yeah, it was kind of fun. It's motivating for me, but talking to nobody right now. Alright, so Veṇu-gīta, the song of Krishna's flute. This is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 10th canto, chapter 21. Oh, it's chapter 21. Oops, I think I wrote chapter 20. Okay. The gopis sing the glories of the sound of Sri Krishna's flute as he enters the enchanting forest of Vrindavan upon the arrival of autumn. Okay, sorry guys. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Sing the glories of the sound of Sri Krishna's flute as he enters the enchanting forest of Vrindavan on the arrival of autumn. I'm not sure about of being there. The enchanting forest of... whatever. I think there's something called an orphan. Whatever. I'll show this to Vaijanti Mala later. Okay, Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Contents. Preface. Introduction. Mangalacarana. Verse 1. Shri Krishna enters the forest of Vrindavan upon the arrival of autumn. Verse 2. Krishna plays a captivating tune on his flute, drowning Vrindavan in bliss. Actually, I'm going to send this. Madhukar's notes. Okay. There. Hearing the sound of the flute, the goat attempts to describe its beauty, overwhelmed with desire to meet Krishna. Appears splendidly, attired as the most beautiful dancer. As Krishna appears splendidly attired as the most beautiful. I think attired should go above. The nectar of divine love floods these hearts. To behold the beautiful faces of the King of Raj is the perfection of the eyes. Krishna and Balarama appear as two splendid dancers amidst all sakas and cows. Feels the nectar of Krishna's lips, which rightfully belong. The lips belong to the gopis. The lips belongs to the gopis. The lips belong, right? The lips which belong to the gopis. The peacocks become intoxicated and dance to the sound of Krishna's flute. The deer worship Krishna with their loving sidelong glances. Okay, I'm just going to hide all these Okay. The demigoddesses riding in their airplanes become stunned and their clothes come loose. The cows drink the nectar of the flute with the cups of their upraised ears. These all need to be divided differently. Anyways, the cows drink the nectar of the flute with the cups of their upraised ears. The birds are sages sit upon the trees, listening to the flute with rapt attention. The rivers embrace Krishna's lotus feet with their waves and offer flowers. I'm not even gonna. All these need to be redone. All of them. Then these smear themselves with the kumkum from Krishna's lotus feet. Govardhan is Hari Dasavarya. Krishna binds the cows with his cowherd ropes. The gopis feel a oneness with Krishna's past. There should be a comma, right? Which can manifest in their hearts. Comma. And it should be either glossary or index, not glossary index. Okay. Shishimad, did somebody message me? One second. Okay, sorry guys. As I said, this isn't an official reading, I'm just proofreading. Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Śrīmad Bhakt Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Preface. Just curious if anybody's actually there. Ooh, there are people there. Haribol, Ganga Didi. We feel extremely privileged to present a revised third edition of the Veṇu-gīta, translated from the Hindi commentary written by our beloved Gurudeva, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashshata Shri, this is 1, Ashtatarashata Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Guess I should make notes as I do it. Shata Shri. The first English edition, which appeared in 1995, compilation of the direct transcripts of a series of our exalted Gurudev, had spoken in English several years before. The Hindi rendition, inspired by the English version, result of his deeply studying the commentaries of Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He was so pleased with the Hindi rendition that he ordered it to be translated into English and published as soon as possible. The second English version, published in September 1999, flowed much more smoothly than the original and convincingly captured the very sentiments stimulated in the hearts of the cowherd down when they hear the sweet, alluring song of Sri Shama Sundar's flute. Convinced? Edition attempts to refine the language and open up the meanings of many Sanskrit terms that define the experience. Questions for Vaijanti Mala I'm going to highlight in what color? Let's do blue. This book is a beautiful and priceless gift from our venerable Gurudev, listening devotee who is aspiring to do Raganuga Bhajan, service in the mood of spontaneous love. Presenting many delightful descriptions of the moods of the gopis who speak the Veṇu-gīta, this sacred text effectively reveals the innocence in the hearts of the Vrajans, who know only their supernal sweetheart. I just want to look it up. There. Supernal means relating to the sky or the heavens, celestial, or of an exceptional quality or extent. He is supernal. I'm going to highlight that for Vaijanti Mala. Rajendranan Sham Sundar. The vision of this innocence, purity, and fervent devotion will surely have a powerful effect on the reader, increasing his faith and instilling in him desire to seriously cultivate bhakti in the wake of Krishna's beloved. The introduction is also significant with its presentation of many authentic proofs that establish the qualification to hear these conferences. The conclusion of all these references is that it is actually our duty to hear these discussions from bona fide Vaishnavas in our disciplic line, even while we are still plagued with extraneous desires. Indeed, our acharyas have informed us that hearing about Krishna's pastimes with the beautiful damsels of Vraj is the apt medicine for healing the blemished heart. This tradition is the fruit of a large effort. All of us from Srila Gurudev's flourishing garden bring this book to press, are grateful to have been in this elevated and exhilarating service. This sounds weird. All of us from Gurudev's flourishing garden? They're saying, isn't that a self-glorification? We're all, or maybe it's okay, actually. I don't know. Okay, please excuse any mistake that I've made. We humbly pray at the lotus feet of our beloved and magnanimous Gurudev, whom Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has sent to sprinkle the whole with Swa-Bhakti Shriyam, intimate service to Sri Radha, that he will be pleased with the presentation of his Hindi words. We entreat that very soon he will also fill our hearts, which are harder and drier than any piece of bamboo, same deep loving sentiments for the divine couple, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Yugal. I'm not too crazy about this preface. I don't know, maybe it's okay. I have to check. Gaudiya Vedanta Publications does not have diacritics. actually gonna note. Remove critics. One word. Bad. Okay. Completed on 15 March 2009, Guru Purnima. Oh, oops. Oh. How come it's me click here? Why isn't it letting me edit this? Whatever. That's so frustrating. Peter's freaking out. Do I click there? Whatever. Okay, introduction. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is a direct manifestation of the Supreme Lord. This kid is maybe so much. Okay. It is the ambrosial, overflowing ocean of the supremely sweet nectarian love, the Prem Rasa, for the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. This introduction to Gurudeva. The Swayam Bhagavan. And we don't. But we don't remove diacritic. Okay, so it is the ambrosial overflowing of the supremely sweet nectarian love, Prem Rasa, for the original Supreme Personality of Swayam Bhagavan, that is, Rajendranandan Sri Krishna, the personification of divine mellows. Rasik and devotees, absorbed in tasting the beauty of Krishna's pastimes, always drown in this ocean. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the fully and juicy fruit of the desired literature that comprises the entirety of Indian thought. Indian thought? Okay, I need to make a color for a check later. I'll make that green. Within Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, oh, and let's see what the footnote is. Devotees immersed in the Abhi, Rasik, and I don't know about this. No, I don't like that. Okay, green is come back to later. Make a better footnote. Okay. A few towering waves. Okay. Within Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Gopi Prem, the love of the cowherd maidens of Raj, has been ascertained to be the ultimate objective. Towering waves of Gopi Prem can be seen from the Veṇu-gīta portion of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Rasik devotees who are seasoned in experiencing divine loving sentiments drown themselves in these waves and even lose all consciousness of their bodies. Greed to be immersed in this ambrosial ocean sprouts also in the hearts of the faithful devotees who are situated on the shore of this ocean. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the combined form of Rasa Raj, the king of divine mellows, and Mahabhav, the queen of divine love, is resplendent with the sentiment and bodily complexion of Sri Radha. Okay, I want to ask Vaijantimala to remain capitalized. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he relished the nectar of Veṇu-gīta with Sri Sarup Damodar and Sri Rai Ramananda, Sri Gambhira. I think it's Gambhira at the end. I should check. Remove highlight. Oops. Okay, let me open up folio. Sri Sanatana Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami collected a few drops of this nectar in their commentaries. On Śrīmad, entitled Brihad Vaishnava Toshani and Lagu Vaishnava Toshani, respectively. Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, through his commentary named Sar Artha Darshini, has distributed the whole world he's distributed to the whole world that same nectar in the form of their Mahaprasad. Okay, let me check this one thing. Is it I'm pretty sure it's Gambhira. Folio. No. Bottles. New bottle. Never figured out how to properly set this up. This is folio, Veda base and Bhakti base, and let's see what they say in. Okay. Gambhira. Okay, so we have to look in Chaturmita Antilila. Then we'll find the word Gambhira. Yep, I was right. See, it's a long A. Then he lay down at the door of the Gambhira to take rest. See, Gambhira. All right, so let's fix that. And Sri Gambhira. Add note. Long A at the end. Gambhira. Okay. Some persons believe that unqualified sadhaks, spiritual practitioners, are ineligible to hear, chant, or remember the topics of Sri Veṇu-gīta, Sri Rasa Panchadhyayi, Yugal-gīta, Bhramar-gīta, and so on, as described in the 10th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This consideration is fully legit, but of their conception, only a sadhak who has conquered the urges, lust, anger, etc., who is free from all anarthas, mean, selfish propensities. That's not how you translate anarthas. Mean. And fully purified anarthas and fully purified of the heart disease of lust is eligible to hear such topics. Others have no right. We will now examine this topic in greater detail. I wonder if we should put the Sanskrit here because it's a very specific term. Okay, one for ideas. I guess ideas will be red. because we haven't used that one. Hrid Rog. And does Darshini have a dot at the end? Because I think it might. Darshini. No, it doesn't. No, okay, it doesn't. Okay, we will now examine this topic in greater detail. Srila Rupa Goswami established and fulfills the inner heart's desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, composed Sri Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu, Sri Ujjvala Nilamani, and other sacred texts. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. While writing, they were deeply concerned that these confidential texts on ras, transcendental loving exchanges, should not fall into the hands of unqualified persons. If this should occur, it could present a great disturbance to the world. A glimpse of this topic is found in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 4-31, as stated by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. E sab siddhanta gura. To change this. Okay. E sab siddhanta gura kahite na jujai. Na kahila ke ho ihar anti pai. Ataeva kahi kichu koriya nigura. Bhujibe sika bhakta na bhujibe muda. Hridaye dharaye je chaitanya nityananda. Esava siddhanta she paibe ananda. Esava santa hoy amrera pallav. Bhakta gana kokiler sarvada valabha. Abhakta ushtrete na hoy pravesh. Tabe choy mor ananda vishesh. Je lagi kahit bhoy she jadi na jane. Iha vai ki baduka ache tribhuvane. Ataeva bhakta gane ko namaskar. Nishanke kahiye tar Hok chamatkar. I don't know, so, but anyways. Haribol, Sudevi, Didi. Stay the same when it's reprinted. I don't know. What's wrong with the internet? How come it's not coming? Yeah, so will it stay the same when reprinted? Well, okay, there's an email thread, and and I were suggesting that we just change, that we make a full bleed cover and just change the title, make it like change the font. Oh, that was my idea actually, to change the font, and Vasanti's idea was to make it a full bleed cover. But very different. How come? What's wrong with the internet? Sorry. Yeah, I'm having connection problems. Well, it will be mostly the same, but it might be, and the font might be a little bit different on the title. But we don't know yet. That was just some suggestions that a couple of us gave. The esoteric, the amorous pastimes of Rasaraj Shri Krishna, maidens of Braj, topics in a concealed manner, so that only a Sikh devotee will be able to understand, whereas ineligible fools will not. Anyone who has established Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda in his heart will attain transcendental bliss by hearing all these conclusions. This entire doctrine is as sweet as newly grown mango sprouts, which can be relished only by devotees who are likened to cuckoo birds. For camel-like non-devotees, there is no possibility of admittance into these topics. Therefore, there is special jubilation in my heart. If those whom I fear are themselves unable to comprehend these topics, then what could be a greater source of happiness in all the three worlds? Therefore, after offering obeisances to the devotees, I am revealing this subject without any hesitation. By reading and hearing these topics, everyone can attain the highest. Shridas Kaviraj Goswami has clarified this topic by quoting the following verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham astita bhaje tadrishi kridaya shutat paro bhavet bhaje tadrishi krida yarutva tatparo bhavet. Okay. I'm going to go over these comments again. I need to do it now. In order to bestow mercy upon the devotees as well as the conditions, Bhagavan Sri Krishna manifests his human-like form and performs such extraordinary pastimes, Raslila, that anyone who hears them becomes exclusively devoted to him, unto him. This is in verse format, so there doesn't need to be these quotation marks because it's already. Wait, is this verse format? I think so. Yes. Okay. Here, Krishnadas Kaviraj points out that the verb bhavit in this verse is in the imperative mood. This means it is compulsory for the. There's a word missing. For the. For the what? For the what? Also, when we do verse format, we indent it. Anyways, these are all things. Okay. Okay. So in this, it is compulsory for the whatever to hear such pastimes, as explained in the following verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 4:35. Bhavit kriya vidhaling she ihakoi kartavya avashya e anyata pratyavai. In this verse, bhavit is in the imperative mood. Therefore, this certainly must be done. To not do so would be a discrepancy. It's not in the imperative mood, it's just in the imperative. Remove mood. Or maybe it could be in the imperative tense. I don't know why it doesn't let me edit the comments. Add note. Imperative tense. Maybe. Mood doesn't work. Okay. For the information of the reader, I'm referring here to Srila Jiva Goswami Goswami commentary on the above quoted Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam verse 1036. The words Anugrahaya Bhaktanam Manusham De indicate the Supreme Lord Krishna appears in original human form, performs various pastimes in order to bestow favor upon his devotees. Therefore, although Shri Krishna is satisfied in himself, he is aptakam, his display of kindness towards the devotees is quite appropriate. Usually we make aptakam one word, but I kind of like it two words. This is a distinctive characteristic of Vishnu, pure spiritual goodness. The Lord is always prepared to reward the devotees with the result consistent with their performance of bhajan. Worshipful service. I'm going to show that to Vaijanti. The favor shown toward King Rahugana by Sri Jadabharat and the Lord's favor toward Shukadeva Goswami illustrate this. In the verse under discussion, it is said that the Lord manifests his form and pastimes in order to bestow favor upon his devotees. The word bhakt devotee used here refers to the Vraj Devis, the Gopis, the Vrajavasis, the residents of Vraj, and all other Vaishnavas, past and future. To bestow favor upon the Vraj Devis, the Supreme Godhead, Shri Krishna, lovingly engages in such pastime, the loving attachment experience in anticipation of meeting Krishna. To bestow mercy upon all the residents of Vraj, he enacts his birth and other pastimes, and by all his activities, he bestows favor upon past, present, and future devotees through the medium of hearing narrations of his divine pastime. Sri Krishna manifests all these to benefit the devotees. By doing so, even ordinary persons, other than the devotees, who hear even the more common of the Lord's pastimes, become fully intent on the Lord. Therefore, by hearing the supremely ambrosial Ras Leela, Sri Krishna's circle dance with the millions of such persons will certainly become exclusively devoted to the Lord. Circle dance? Of this, there can be no doubt. I'm just not sure about circle dance. I'll show that to Vaijanti. This fact will be elaborate in subsequent verses such as Vikriditam Vrajavadhu Bhir Idang Cha Vishnu, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:33-39. The words Manusham Deham Astita may also indicate that those jivas who have attained the human form of life are able to hear all these pastimes, and thus they become exclusively devoted to the Supreme Lord. This is so because the Lord incarnates exclusively on the earthly planets. Here only that worship of the Lord takes on its predominant form. Consequently, the human beings residing on the earthly planets may hear these narrations pastimes. We find the word bhaktanam for the devotees in this verse. The kerning could be better on this line. But in some other editions, the word bhutanam for all living entities is found in its place. In the first case, the purport that the Lord incarnates only for the sake of the devotees, who are thus the root cause of the Lord's appearance. But the Lord also appears in his original human-like form in order to bestow his favor upon the liberated souls, the aspirant liberation, sense enjoyers, and all other living entities in accordance with their relationship with his devotees. The Lord's compassion is therefore said to be the appearance. Nevertheless, it must be understood that the Lord's favor towards other living entities is due only to relationship with his devotees. It's a really important point. In his Bhagavatam commentary known as Bhavarta Dipika, Sridhar Swami has written that, what to speak of devotees, even materialistic persons are freed from their material absorption by hearing the Lord's past, and thus they become exclusively fixed upon him. Chakravarti Thakur explains this verse in his commentary known as Sarartha Darshini. The Lord performs varieties of pastimes to show favor to his devotees. Coming in the human form of life, living entities who hear these pastimes become exclusively devoted unto the Lord. In other words, firm faith in hearing the narrations of the Lord's activities. What more will I say about the importance of hearing about Krishna? And this Raslila, being fully imbued with Madhurya Ras, the mellow of amorous love, is eminently distinguished even from the Lord's other pastimes. Like a jewel, a mantra, or a powerful medicine, is endowed with such indisputable, astonishing potency that by hearing it, all persons in the human form become devoted to the Supreme Lord. Therefore, all varieties of devotees who hear the descriptions of these pastimes will become successful in supreme pleasure. Can there be any doubt about this? Naitat samacharejjatu manasapi yanishvara vinashyacharan modhyad yatarudro dijam visham. In other words, and we don't need all these quotation marks. In other words, those who are not the Supreme Lord, who are powerless to karma, should never imitate the Lord's pastimes within their minds. If anyone foolishly imitates Lord Shiva by drinking the poison from the ocean, he will certainly be destroyed. Just checking the comments. Man, I'm having a really bad connection today, aren't I? Hare Krishna, Sharmaji. The gist of Srila Ji's and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentaries on this verse is that living entities who are subservient to the material body and who are anishvara, are of controlling, controlling potency of the Supreme Lord. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Who are anishvara, they should never behave in such a way as to imitate the Lord. What to speak of actually transgressing religious codes as the Lord's pastimes? One should not entertain even the desire to do so. The word samacharan, behavior, when divided into its constituent parts, samyak and acharan, implies complete behavior. I don't understand that. Oh, okay, I got it. Yes, that's. Here it has been used to indicate total prohibition of such activity. But the purport is that such behavior should not be adopted even to the slightest extent. What to speak of performing through speech or the senses? One should not even mentally conceive of such activities for oneself. The word he indicates that this certainly must not be done. If one were to behave in that way, he would be completely destroyed. The significance of the word modhyad, stupidity, is that if anyone, being ignorant of the Lord's omnipotence and his own incompetence, foolishly adopts such behavior, he will be utterly ruined. Just as if anyone other than the Lord Shiva, were to foolishly consume deadly poison, instantaneously he would be killed. But Lord Shiva, in spite of drinking poison, to the contrary, he attains even greater fame and splendor as Nilkanta, he whose throat turned blue from drinking poison. Here in this verse, imitation of such behavior has been prohibited. Yet in the verse already cited, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 33:36, Yashrutva tatparo bhavet, it is not only devotees, but even others who faithfully hear these pastimes will become fully devoted to the Supreme Lord. This has been further explained in the following verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:33-39. Vikriditam Vrajavadubhiti. Vikriditam Vrajavadubhiridam cha Vishnu. Shraddhanvito Nrishunayad Atavarnayedya. Bhaktim parang bhaktim param bhavati pratilabhya kamam. Hridrogamapahinottya chirena dhira. A sober person who in the beginning faithfully and continuously hears from his guru the narrations of Krishna's unprecedented ras dance with the young brides, the gopis, and later describes those pastimes, very soon attains bhakti, or prem bhakti, supreme loving devotion, for Supreme Lord, and thus becomes competent to quickly dispel the heart's disease of lust. Here, Srila comments in Vaishnava Toshani. Having concluded the narration of Rasa, Shukadeva Goswami became deeply Vita. It should have